Well, hello, everybody. G Money's back. Going to give you another story time. My life is so hectic right now with this full time job and all the tribulations that come along with that. I may be talking about that this weekend. So, tonight is Friday night. I'm going to give you a story time. And if I can remember, I got to remember to look right here, right into the camera. Oh, my peeps, my peeps. I see you. I see you. So anyway, this is story time episode 95. We're closing in on 100. So that's kind of cool. Uh, I, I know lately they're not too popular. People don't like to hear me ramble, but it's easier just to get on here and do that than I don't have the time to go out and actually shoot a real video. So here we go. Uh, when my father passed away in 1998, I think it was August 30th, 1998, uh, I ended up moving into his house for a little while. I'd say spring of 99. I had pre-ordered my white German Shepherd. Her name was Casey. I think I talked about her a little bit previously, but this is I'm going to talk about her and then get back to this dedicated episode of what she did. This one particular, dogs can be ornery and they're innocent at the same time. So Casey was a beautiful white German Shepherd. I bought her in Troy, Maine, which was approximately 100 miles south of Canada. Beautiful, real, like homesteady type country. They had 42 acres, and it was really beautiful. And they had championship bloodline for these white German Shepherds called Snowman Kennels. So I did a lot of research, and I was very confident in what they were going to produce. They had a lot of championship bloodline. I prepaid for Casey. It was like $400, and I did it like 6 months in advance. And then I was notified when the litter was born and stuff like that. So 8 weeks to the day, I drive to Troy, Maine, get Casey. Um, I was the first one. I was the second furthest away. I was driving from Delaware to Maine, like northern Maine, and there was another couple ladies came from Georgia to Maine, just to purchase a championship bloodline dog. So I knew I had a good dog, and my first dog, Elsie, was very. I trained her to be very aggressive, so I knew in this different time period, I was just going to let my dog be a dog. She was going to learn some of the basic tricks and, give your paw, lay down, and, all that good stuff. But I'm just going to let her be a dog. I didn't want her to be aggressive because there was a couple close calls with my previous dog. Even though she did some heroic things, I still wanted Casey to be more just a chill dog, It was funny. They look so much alike, but they had two different personalities. I've talked about that previously. But let's get on to this episode. So when I moved into my father's house, and there was a transition period, and I was spending a lot of time at my girlfriend's house, who lived in the same neighborhood. It's a big neighborhood called Salem Woods, and there was a tenant that I kind of inherited when my father passed away. He lived downstairs. And so I'm going to give you a little bit background about the residence situation, and then I'm going to tell you what Casey did. It's kind of funny, but not really funny. But so there was a gentleman that my father rented to, like basically the bottom portion of the basement. There was a bedroom there, like a real nice den area with a fireplace. There was a refrigerator downstairs, washer and dryer, and all that stuff. So, and then plus there was like a shower and bathroom down there. So it was a pretty nice setup, really nice and carpeted, and the fireplace was really sweet. I missed that so much. But so the gentleman that was living downstairs was a guy named Eddie, who was African American. Didn't matter to me, didn't matter to my father. They got along well. The guy was really very clean, nice, and so basically I told, when I moved in, when everything, the transition was happening, I said, yeah, I don't see a reason for you to have to leave or whatever. And then I talked to him later and I said, I wouldn't, sorry about that. There's always some obstacle here. My mom's phone is always ringing. Sorry about that, folks, but we just got to deal with that apparently. But so then I get talking to Eddie. I said, look, I'm thinking about, that extra room upstairs. I wouldn't mind renting that out. Are you okay with that? I'm going to try and be very strict on screening, for that. He goes, no, that's fine with me. So I go through the process, and I'll probably tell more about that screening process and what happened there. But eventually we bring in a guy named Bill or Billy or something like that, and who was a contractor. He was kind of like a mason, like a stone mason, brick mason, whatever it was. And but he had some issues. He definitely had some issues. And when he interviewed very well. Of all the other people that had an interview with me, he stood out. But I was kind of still like stereotyping because of the old, police background and stuff like that. But I figured, let me give this guy a shot, So basically, I told him I only have 3 rules in the house. I said, if you don't like African American people, that's going to be a problem because Eddie's been here first. Eddie's staying, till I say otherwise. I said, 1, there's no drugs. I don't, I said, I have really good neighbors. I don't want any police activity. I said, I don't care if you, drink alcohol, so as long as you keep it under control. And I said, if you want to have a lady friend over, to visit or whatever, I'm okay with that. So this guy, Billy, he had, I guess you would call it like partial dentures or whatever, but he had a friend come over. It was like a Friday or Saturday night. And I would bring Casey into the master bedroom with me at night, take off her choker necklace or collar, whatever you want to call it, because so it wouldn't jingle and rattle and wake me up or anybody else up, So it was better sleep situation with that. Well, this guy Billy on this Friday or Saturday night, whatever it was, I know it was a weekend, he had a buddy come over and they were partying pretty hard. They had a lot of popcorn and apparently he gets pretty intoxicated. He and his buddy's sleeping on the one couch, and there was kind of like popcorn all over the floor. He definitely got sloppy, drunk, and which was not a real cool thing, but whatever. So I get Casey up to go outside to go, out back. It's probably like 6 a.m. or so. Bill's passed out in the recliner. His buddy's sleeping on the couch. I let Casey out. She goes, does her business. I bring her back in. I'm preparing the coffee. And then all of a sudden I hear this loud crunch. Like it wasn't full like sunlight yet, but it was like starting to commence that, sunrise stage. And I hear this crunch like glasses breaking. And Billy, the contractor dude that lived there, I guess he had like partial dentures, whatever, like the plate that goes up into your upper mouth or whatever you want to call that. And during his drunken stupidity, it fell on the floor with the popcorn, and my dog Casey thought it looked just like one of those pig's ears. So she proceeds to crunch on this thing. It was not a cheap thing. And this guy was really pissed, right? I'm like, I was pretty much trying to tell him, like, dog's going to be a dog. I'm sorry that happened. If you weren't such a sloppy mess out there, just kept your teeth in or, more attentive, she wouldn't have done that. So it was, it was upwards close to like $1,000 to get that thing. And then he had a temporary one, but when he didn't have his teeth in, he talked with like a lisp. And this guy was like pretty buff dude, and he would talk with a lisp and like a lot of S's and stuff like that. And he was pissed off. So I didn't think I should pay for it. He thought I should. What do you do in that situation? I don't know. But anyway, a couple of days later, I come home, and my dog can barely walk. He obviously drop kicked her, and she's hurt real bad. So now I'm really pissed off. So something that was innocent by a dog. Mind you, Casey's like 10 months old. She's not even a full-grown, dog yet. 10 months, I'm pretty sure they're still considered a puppy, not fully developed. I don't know. It was like, if you weren't so sloppy drunk and, knock your dentures off the side table, and I don't know. It was like, to me, he thought I should pay for it. I didn't think I should. Try to, let's try and work, so he became very much an a-hole. And so that's the story. Casey tried to eat a pig's ear, which was someone's dentures. So that's the true story. So I'm going to we're going to loop around. We're going to get back to what that gentleman did at the house going forward, and how I got him back. I got him back in a real solid way. You don't mess with G Money. I'll find a way to get you, brother. I will. I promise you that. And I did. That's going to be an interesting story. I don't know what episode that's going to be, but I'll do a few more. It might be around, 99, 101, somewhere in there. I'm trying to figure out a special one to do for 100. Anyway, folks, I appreciate you all tuning in. Let's talk.